Hello, Internet friends. This is Fran Mirabella with Netflix aficionado Nick Scarpino.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, thanks for joining us, Nick. You love the Netflix,
I'm
right?
a huge Netflix fan.
Great. So
huge Netflix fan.
we got it here on Xbox One. Why don't you boot it up?
Here we go.
So yeah, it hasn't been booted up yet, so you can kind of see the app loading. And granted, this is right at launch, so we'll see how that improves over time. But so far, we haven't seen or heard of what updates there may be. So what's the first thing you notice when you log into Xbox One's Netflix?
This is a pretty distinctively different layout than you're seeing in a lot of other systems. Netflix, the app for the most part has been standardized. First thing we're seeing here is as we kind of scroll across is this is where your list is. This is where all of your selections are. Obviously, I have excellent tastes in films.
Yeah, you do actually.
Not terrible. If you haven't watched it, I'd definitely watch it. But yeah, so as gone is the endless scroll of horizontal bars. We've got the traditional kind of Microsoft look now.
If I can touch on that, so universally they seem to be switching to this vertical scrolling, endless scrolling of lists. So here it's bucketed, right? So
yes.
You actually don't have endless scrolling. How do you feel about that so far?
So initially I was I'm a little taken aback. Anyone that uses Netflix loves the concept of just blading through, just scrolling through every single thing. I mean, there are multiple nights when I never even actually watch anything. I just kind of look at what else is there to watch. And I think that's part of the fun of using Netflix is that, the sheer volume of it is what makes it worthwhile. So initially when you're looking at this, you might be thinking, okay, they're limiting me to just these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, choices.
Yep.
But they're not, because if you go up actually to your top picks, you can go deeper into this.
Did you hit top picks above?
You can hit top picks above.
Oh, you can do that or hit the ellipses
Or you can hit the ellipses underneath.
Okay.
And this is where you're getting into that now fun, endless scroll.
This is kind of nice, though, because can you get a 3-row vertical or horizontal scroll?
Not that I know of.
Not on the other one. So actually, this is interesting because now you can look at, call it 3 videos at once as you scroll.
This is going to take my Netflix game to the next level.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. And I think this is pretty cool. It's shocking at first because you're used to just kind of looking at this top line, as it were, and then below would be, another category of opportunities.
Normally you have to scroll left and right to see this much. There's more on the screen.
Sorry, we just showed a
That's
little bit
okay.
of
We'll get into gestures in a second.
Sure.
Yeah. But there's more on the screen is the point.
Yeah,
right?
there's a lot more on the screen here. You're seeing, literally 3 times more on the screen because we've got 2 more rows that are on the bottom of this.
Gray, by the way, that's a great movie.
The Gray? I haven't watched that yet. I got to check
watch
that out.
It. See, it's there.
Let's add it to my queue here. Let's see what that looks like.
Yeah, let's try.
This is actually very similar to what you see, if actually not identical to on Xbox, currently Xbox 360 and I think PS4. So I'll go ahead and add that to my list.
Yeah.
And I'll just back out.
Seems to work good.
Yep.
Well.
It does work well. A little disappointing is actually that's not disappointing at all. I'll tell you that. I do like that slight bit of hesitation between the next one. What I do find a bit disorienting in some of the current gen apps is that you can sort of start scrolling and get lost. This one you can find yourself a little, but you'll be happy to know, Xbox fans, that you can go back to where you were from the beginning. It just keeps going. That was a big, and the second to last update, that was a huge deal breaker for me, is that you got to the end and then it stopped and then you were like, oh, are you kidding me? It just kind of goes back to the beginning.
Which I think is great. Yeah.
Super, super convenient, to say the least.
So head back maybe a screen. What happens if you keep going right on all these buckets? Because I don't think we've actually...
We have not tried that yet.
This is the first time we've really taken a deep look at it. We did a little prep. But, it does a lot of because you watch it again,
right.
Keep going.
Popular on Facebook. These are the categories you're used to seeing.
Does it get back to the beginning yet? Not really. It's...
there's a lot of categories here.
It's actually doing it alphabetically
now,
so you've gotten into alphabetical recommendations.
Oh, this is going to be a huge
by their
time
categories.
suck for me.
So there we go. We finally get around.
Back.
So that's actually pretty nice, right?
That's not terrible. Yeah, I like that.
So continue watching. Now
here's where we
something
get.
About this.
Here's where we get into a little, and this might change hopefully. But as we're looking at the app right now, this bothers me just a little bit. One of the big points of feedback that a lot of people had for not the one that's currently on Xbox 360, but the last version of it was that you'd go to play something, and instead of giving you the opportunity to look like I want to, if I wanted to watch an episode of this is great. I can go in. And it lets me choose. Do I want to play the current episode or do I want to choose more? Well, there's a couple updates to the Netflix app that didn't allow that, and that was really annoying. However, now we're looking, you come back here to continue watching, and I want to watch Wolverine and the X-Men, which if you haven't seen, you should. And it does not give me the option to choose more episodes. It goes
Right, it goes
straight
into
watching.
like either the beginning, if that's where you were. Well, you were watching.
I
this
was
already.
watching this
That's
one.
why I was
again,
there.
yeah.
So
this
it
is where
resumes.
it does resume properly, and that's nice. If if you're watching a movie, like let's back out here.
Yeah, like you don't want to. I actually don't like that second press a lot of times.
Yeah,
but
I'm not crazy about it. Like Superman versus Superman, Batman Apocalypse here. If I want to just jump back in there, or I want to tell it to jump back in there, and while I'm making dinner, or whatever, that's great. Yeah,
if you're in it.
But when you're watching episodic content, you do want you want ease of use when it comes to that.
And so that's the thing. For episodic content, I'm like, okay, I already saw this episode, dear. Can you go to the next one?
Right.
So do that for me.
I have no idea how to do that.
Yeah, like currently, all you can really pull up is fast forward, pause, and
subtitles menu, which is ridiculous. So I'm sure there is a menu combination here.
No, there's not. I mean, we went through it, and even I tried the voice commands. It's not like it's locked there.
So this is me trying every button
The
possible.
truth is, these apps are a little early. So I think if you back out to the front, that's just the way it is now. The way you're going to have to solve that is you go up to search, and you can punch it in. That's probably one of the fastest ways, or just keep stuff on your list, and that's like another way. But yeah, look, you would have to go through.
Well,
this is interesting. Let's see. There it is.
Did we find it?
Wolverine and the X-Men?
Where do you see that? Oh, there we are.
So at
I
least
can go
the
to it. I
search
can add.
is pretty nice.
It's pretty fast. I can go to it. I can, and obviously once you throw it on your list, it's going to be there.
So look, I think it's not bad. We're not really out to review which Netflix app is the best. We just kind of wanted to give you a preview. This is moving pretty fast. I actually like, it's a pretty slick looking version. What I do like, and what's big about the Xbox One, and so I'm reviewing the platform, so I kind of want to take over on my part of the functionality, is that you set the controller down. So Nick, no more from you.
Okay.
Let's let me take over. The beauty of the concept, anyway, it's got a ways it goes. You finally can walk in, say Xbox on, never pick the controller up, and say go to Netflix. We show up here, and then we'll do it like this, right? Xbox Select. And so what they built in is, instead of saying what it normally does is it looks for words on the screen, so it would look for Skyfall, but they haven't printed those out to keep a clean interface. Stop listening. So if you look, I'm going to use my hand gesture to point to things. Isn't this nice? Because it's not on the screen, I can't say it. I think I can say the stuff on the left. Right, so Xbox Select. Wolverine. Nope, maybe not. So the point is you got to use this select mode, which isn't bad. Next page. Next page. Next page. I personally don't like saying next page over and over again, but you can do it is the point. Stop listening. The other thing, stop listening. Every time I demo this, people start cringing. But like a few commands is not going to kill you, people. Like this is a pretty cool feature. So unlike what you see on the Xbox One home screen, you normally would drag this around, right? And it'd be moving. But Xbox tried to simplify it. You just very lightly grab it and release your hand. It's very effortless. I'm barely moving my arm.
You have a good technique with that.
Yeah,
I couldn't get it.
In fact, I'm going to set my elbow on my knee, and I'm barely moving my arm. So look, I actually think it's nice to not have to pick up the controller. I'm going to stand up even and go off over to the right. You guys can't see me, but I've done this at home. Let's see. Okay, it's not working now. But I've successfully at home. It's because of the way that the Kinect is calibrated right now. I was too tall, and our room's too small. But you can be off to the side and kind of surf around. So, last thing, Nick. What about if I want to go to my stuff? This is
switching users. Yeah, so that took a second to find. I'm not going to lie. But if you hit the start button, or I guess they're calling it the menu button now. Yes.
Yes. The menu button.
You will see switch user. And if I'm tired of my list and I want to see what Fran's got going on, I can choose Fran.
Yep.
And that will just load up all of his personal preferences and his Netflix page, or his Netflix account, rather.
Yeah. So, look, this is nice for a multi-household. You can have a ton of people actually on the system, and then, beyond that, you can...
oh, my God, for a second I thought you were, watching old episodes of I Love Lucy.
Trust me, it's in here somewhere.
No,
but
sorry, that's not I
that's
Love
a
Lucy.
30 Rock parody.
Yeah.
So, in any event, that is a tour of Xbox's Xbox One's Netflix.
That's the parody.
Yeah, the Honeymooners. This is a parody of Honeymooners. Anyway, you can see how much Nick here loves Netflix, so thank you for joining us, and hopefully you like what you saw. If you have questions, let us know. Make sure to even give Netflix feedback, if you've got it. And that's a look at the Netflix app. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon.